Are you paying for car services you don't actually need? Most drivers are, wasting hundreds every year. But what if I told you that mechanics often recommend services that don't improve your car's performance at all? Stick around and I'll reveal 6 common services that aren't just unnecessary, but could be harming your wallet. Which one of these are you falling for? Number 1, engine flushes. Mechanics love upselling engine flushes as a magic fix, but do they really help? On paper, it sounds like a good idea. An engine flush is a liquid chemical designed to break down deposits in sludge that may have built up inside your engine over time. Once added to your oil, it works to dissolve these contaminants so they can be drained out when the oil is replaced. Sounds straightforward, right? That's why it's a common recommendation used to protect engines. But the reality is more complicated. Here's the truth. Most modern engines don't need flushes to stay clean. Engine technology and the quality of engine oils have come a long way in the last few decades. Today's oils already contain detergents and additives specifically engineered to prevent sludge from forming in the first place. If you're following regular oil change intervals recommended by your car's manufacturer, the chances of needing an engine flush are incredibly slim. In fact, performing one when it's not necessary can sometimes do more harm than good. According to automotive expert Krauch, engine flushes have the potential to damage seals or loosen particles in ways that can block small oil passages and harm internal components. Essentially, you could be paying for a service that puts your engine at greater risk rather than protecting it. Think of it this way. An unnecessary engine flush might be like taking a high-powered hose to delicate machinery. It can wash away what doesn't belong, but it might also strip away things that were best left untouched. Take this real-world scenario. A car owner who followed their mechanic's suggestion for an engine flush ended up with oil leaks shortly after the procedure. Why? The flush's chemicals degraded several seals that were in otherwise functional condition. The result was an expensive repair job, all for a service that wasn't even required in the first place. So when, if ever, is an engine flush actually needed? In rare cases, it may be necessary for vehicles that haven't had proper oil changes in many years, especially if there's visible engine sludge or poor performance caused by contaminated oil. But for the average driver with a routine maintenance schedule, you won't need to worry about those conditions. The bottom line? Stick to your car manufacturer's recommendations. They've already accounted for what your engine needs to operate at its best. Don't let a convincing pitch from a mechanic turn into an unnecessary expense. But that's just one of many services that could be draining your wallet. Let's look at another. Number 2, fuel injector cleaning. Does your mechanic insist you need a fuel injector cleaning? Here's why you probably don't. The service is often promoted as a way to restore power, fix sluggish performance, or prevent potential problems in the future. But let's break down what it actually does. Fuel injectors are responsible for spraying controlled amounts of fuel into your engine. Over time, it's possible for small amounts of carbon and debris to build up and interfere with this process, potentially causing issues like poor idling or misfires. Cleaner fuel injectors theoretically mean smoother performance, so it's easy to see why this service sounds important. Here's the catch. Modern fuel systems and gasoline are designed to prevent this buildup from happening in the first place. Most gas stations today use top-tier fuel that already contains detergents formulated specifically to keep fuel injectors clean. In fact, these detergents are so effective that regular driving with high-quality gasoline essentially eliminates the need for standalone injector cleanings. Automotive expert Ron Crouch explains that for most vehicles, fuel injector cleaning is unnecessary unless you're experiencing real performance issues. It's not something that needs to be done routinely, despite it being a common upsell at repair shops. Take the story of a driver who was sold on the benefits of injector cleanings every 6 months. Each service cost over $100, but the driver noticed no changes in performance whatsoever. Eventually, after switching mechanics, they were told their vehicle didn't even need cleaning to begin with, resulting in years of wasted money. This upsell preys on fear of unseen damage that might cost more in the long run. But if your car isn't misfiring, stalling, or struggling to start, chances are the injectors are working just fine without intervention. So what should you do instead of paying for frequent cleanings? Crouch suggests relying on your car manufacturer's maintenance schedule. These recommendations are designed to keep your car running smoothly without paying for unnecessary extras. If you ever do notice sluggishness or idling issues, try filling up with a few tanks of premium gasoline containing advanced detergents. This is often enough to clear out minor residue. The key takeaway here: don't fall for the upsell. Unless your vehicle is showing clear symptoms of injector problems, stick to quality gas and drive with confidence. Up next, let's talk about another common myth that's costing drivers extra at the pump. Number 3, premium gas. Think premium gas is better for your car's performance? Think again. Gas stations love marketing those premium pumps with phrases like enhances performance and cleans engines. And those higher prices, they sure make it feel like you're giving your car the best. But unless your owner's manual specifically requires premium fuel, using it in a car made for regular gasoline is like buying designer clothes for a mannequin. It's pointless and expensive. Premium gasoline, also known as high-octane fuel, is formulated to resist knocking in higher compression engines, meaning it can handle intense pressure before igniting. Regular gas, on the other hand, has a lower octane rating, making it ignite slightly easier. Manufacturers design their engines to work best with one or the other. If your car is built for regular gas, it won't even notice the difference premium fuel might offer because it's simply unnecessary. That shiny premium nozzle isn't improving your horsepower, cleaning your engine better, or giving you magical boosts to your mileage. Here's where it starts hitting your wallet. The price difference between regular and premium gas averages around 50 cents per gallon, though it can be much higher in some areas. For a driver filling up a typical 15-gallon tank weekly, that's an extra $390 a year, spent on nothing your car can use. That's the kind of hidden cost most people don't think about when they're convinced premium fuel is better. And with gas prices constantly fluctuating, premium pump choices only make every fill-up sting more. Many drivers also fall victim to a popular misconception that premium gas will make their car run smoother or boost power. But for cars that don't require it, there's no noticeable improvement in performance or efficiency. Take one frustrated driver, for instance, who switched to premium for months, thinking it would solve their car's mild shaking at idle. They later found out from a different mechanic that the issue had nothing to do with fuel, and the premium gas didn't help the car run smoother at all, just drained their budget. So are there exceptions? Absolutely. If your car's manufacturer specifically states you need premium fuel, often for high-performance engines or certain luxury vehicles, then yes, it's worth paying the extra. But as automotive expert Ron Crouch points out, unless that recommendation is in the owner's manual, premium isn't doing you any favors. His advice? Stick with the fuel your car is designed for and stop paying more for no reason. You're not improving performance, you're just burning through money for nothing. And speaking of things that sound too good to be true, let's discuss lifetime transmission fluid claims. Before we move on, I would like you to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Number 4, lifetime transmission fluid. Ever been told your transmission fluid is lifetime? Here's why that's a dangerous myth. The term lifetime sounds reassuring, doesn't it? After all, if the fluid lasts forever, you never have to worry about it. One less thing on your maintenance list. But here's the reality. Lifetime is more marketing spin than mechanical truth. Manufacturers use the term to make their vehicles seem low maintenance, which appeals to buyers. However, it doesn't mean the fluid will protect your transmission for as long as the car operates. In fact, skipping transmission fluid changes entirely can set the stage for catastrophic and expensive failures. The problem is that transmission fluid wears down over time. Heat, friction, and contamination from tiny metal particles gradually degrade its ability to lubricate and cool your transmission. Think about how hard the transmission works every time you drive, shifting gears in stop-and-go traffic, climbing hills, or towing a heavy load. Under these conditions, fluid breakdown accelerates. What was once a protective, slick lubricant becomes a dirty, ineffective mess. Ignoring this process means your transmission components face greater stress, leading to increased wear and tear and eventually complete failure. One driver learned this the hard way. After purchasing a used car, they assumed the lifetime transmission fluid claim meant they could skip fluid changes. Everything went fine until their car began slipping gears and struggling to shift. By then, the damage had already been done. The repair bill? Over $5,000 for a transmission replacement. This is no rare occurrence either. The average cost of transmission repairs ranges from $4,000 to $7,000 depending on the vehicle. Preventative maintenance would have cost them a fraction of that amount. So if calling it lifetime is misleading, how do you know when to change your transmission fluid? The best guide is your owner's manual. For many vehicles, fluid changes are recommended every 30,000 to 60,000 miles, though this varies based on driving habits. If you regularly tow, drive in hot climates, or commute in stop-and-go traffic, you may need to change it more frequently. You can also have the fluid inspected by a trusted mechanic to check for discoloration or debris. Don't be fooled by the promise of lifetime anything. It's just another term designed to put convenience over proper care. By staying proactive, you can avoid costly transmission issues and keep your vehicle running smoothly for years to come. Next, we'll tackle a trendy service that's been inflating costs for years. Literally. Number 5, nitrogen tire inflation. Does nitrogen in your tires really make a difference? Let's find out. The concept of nitrogen tire inflation has been around for a while, pitched as a premium upgrade over regular compressed air. The idea is simple. Nitrogen molecules are larger than oxygen, which supposedly allows them to escape more slowly through the tire's rubber. This should mean less pressure loss over time and more consistent tire performance. Nitrogen is also less reactive to temperature changes, which theoretically makes it superior when driving in varying conditions. On paper, these claims sound convincing, but for the average driver, they don't hold up under scrutiny. The truth is, while nitrogen can slightly reduce pressure loss, the benefits are negligible in everyday driving. If you're just commuting to work or running errands, you're unlikely to notice a difference in tire performance compared to using regular air. Studies show that regular air, which is already about 78% nitrogen anyway, performs just as well in maintaining tire pressure when checked regularly. Properly inflated tires, not the specific gas inside them, are what really impacts your fuel efficiency, tire wear, and overall performance. Then there's the cost. While regular air is often free at gas stations or costs very little, nitrogen inflation comes at a premium. You'll typically pay $5 to $10 per tire to fill up with nitrogen, and if you need to top off later, there's often another charge. For comparison, a family car with 4 tires could cost $20 to $40 just for nitrogen inflation. That's an expense that adds up over time with virtually no tangible improvements for daily drivers. Unless you're racing on a track or driving in extreme weather conditions, this cost outweighs any potential advantage. One study helped put things into perspective. Researchers compared tires inflated with nitrogen and regular air under typical driving conditions and found only minimal differences in pressure loss over months of use. These differences were far too small to justify the extra cost of nitrogen for the average driver. In short, if you're imagining a drastic upgrade in performance or longevity, you might be setting yourself up for disappointment. That said, there are niche scenarios where nitrogen might be beneficial. Race cars, for example, rely on extremely stable tire pressure during high-speed laps, making nitrogen useful in that context. Similarly, extreme environments like intense heat or cold may benefit slightly from nitrogen's lower pressure volatility. But for your daily commute in a standard vehicle, regular air does the job perfectly well, and it won't cost extra. The takeaway is simple. Skip the nitrogen sales pitch. Instead, regularly check your tire pressure with a gauge and fill them with regular air to save money. Next, let's look at a service that promises peace of mind but often delivers frustration. Number 6, extended warranties. Extended warranties sound like a good deal, but are they really worth the cost? These contracts, often sold by third-party providers, promise financial peace of mind by covering unexpected repair costs. For many car owners, that reassurance feels invaluable. After all, who wouldn't want protection against an expensive repair bill? But while it may seem like a safety net, the fine print on these warranties tends to hide some serious pitfalls. Let's start with the exclusions. Third-party extended warranties often don't cover as much as you think. They might leave out key components, overlook issues caused by wear and tear, or reject claims due to conditions that weren't spelled out clearly when you purchased it. A cracked engine block? Excluded. Failures due to a minor pre-existing issue? Not their problem. Vehicle owners frequently learn about these restrictions only after it's too late, when their claims are denied. That's when the protection they paid for feels more like a hollow promise. Then there's the matter of high deductibles. These warranties usually require you to pay a set amount out of pocket before they step in. You might think, well, that's fine. At least they'll cover the big bills. But here's where it starts to sting. For smaller repairs, these deductibles can severely limit the actual benefit. Imagine being stuck paying $200 for a deductible on a $350 repair. Was it really worth the cost of the warranty in that scenario? Probably not. The financial impact of these contracts can be staggering. Extended warranties often cost drivers anywhere from several hundred to thousands of dollars up front. And that's before factoring in monthly payments some companies push. Yet due to exclusions and payout limits, the total benefit might never come close to the amount you've paid. Some policies even cap how much they'll cover over the lifespan of the warranty. If you reach that limit after 1 or 2 major repairs, you're left paying for all additional expenses, despite still being under the warranty period. So how do you avoid falling victim to these frustrating contracts? One smart option is to create an emergency fund for car repairs. This way, your money stays in your control, ready when you truly need it. Alternatively, opt for manufacturer-backed warranties if you feel you need extra protection. They're more straightforward and typically come with fewer restrictions. By avoiding these 6 unnecessary services, you could save hundreds or even thousands every single year. Mechanics and dealerships often push these extras under the guise of being recommended. But as automotive expert Ron Kraut points out, many are simply upsells that don't align with your car manufacturer's actual service schedule. It's a reminder to always question what's being sold to you. Stick to the guidelines in your owner's manual, and you'll avoid throwing money away on services designed more to pad profits than protect your car. What other car maintenance myths have you come across? Let us know in the comments. If this video helped you spot engine-destroying habits, tap that like button and subscribe for more car-saving tips. Plus, you'll also be first to catch our next video about 10 car features so useless they're basically a scam.